Good evening and welcome to Namaste, where you must live and learn so you don't get burned. Thank you so much for sharing your evening with me. Tonight, we are going to discuss generational curses. All of us, and I mean all of us, deal with some sort of dysfunction in our family, whether that be on mom's side, dad's side, both sides, right? You've got it, I've got it, we've got it. We've got the dysfunction. So, what I want to talk to you about is being the change that will discontinue some of the dysfunction. I know, realistically, we can't change all of it, but we can definitely play a part in our generation, and we can definitely play a role in our children's generation so that their children won't, deal with it, and so that they won't have to continue to deal with it. Because, the children pretty much really are our future. They do not ask to be here. So I think the very least we could do is make sure they don't have to experience what we experienced growing up, because a lot of us dealt with the family curse. So first, I want to go over some of the statistics. I got to have my statistics, keep it real with you so you know I'm being honest. I looked up some of the statistics with children and how they are affected by family curses. So just here's a few examples for you. So I've got 1.2 million that are born in fatherless homes. A fatherless home doesn't necessarily mean that daddy's not present. It just means that he's not in the home. Then we've got 1.8 million children that are latchkey kids. And in case you don't know what that is, you may have been one. Let me tell you what that is. That is a child who pretty much feeds for themselves until mom gets home or dad gets home. They feed themselves and all that good stuff. And so a large population does deal with that. It's sad, but it's true, because you've got that working mom who has to make sure you have food on the table and bills paid and things like that. So you're going to have to make that choice to leave your children at home alone, although it's really not safe. It is what it is. You got to do what you got to do, right? So I don't personally agree with it. I feel like you always have a choice in any situation, but that's just my opinion. Where there's a will, there's a way. And, nowadays you have children raising themselves, which is a whole different conversation. So I'll keep reading the statistics for you. So next we've got 36% of children who grow up without a father. And that is when daddy is completely not present there. A lot of children experience that. And a lot of children feel like that's an okay thing, because subconsciously they're thinking, oh, well, my dad wasn't in the household. So when they grow up, they're like, oh, not a big deal, unless you have that child that realizes, which I'll touch base on later. When you have that child or adult who realizes that mommy or daddy made a mistake in raising them, you can definitely, tune into that truth and say, you know what, I'm not going to repeat that. That wasn't a good thing that mom did. That wasn't a good thing that dad did. I'm not going to repeat that with my children. So that turns it into a good thing, actually, because you're actually stopping that generational curse at that point. So then we've got 75% of kids that are on drugs come from single parent homes. We've got 63%, which is super sad. 63% of youth suicides are from single parent homes. And then last but not least, we have 70% of teen pregnancies that come from single parent homes. Now, I'd like to touch base a little bit on the teen pregnancies. I think that plays a key role, not only with the latchkey kids, but with those who are raised with parents that may not sexually educate them. The parent may not have time, or the parent may not have been sexually educated themselves. So once again, there goes that repetitive cycle. There goes that generational curse, because if your mom's mom didn't educate her sexually, she's probably not going to educate you. But when you make the decision to have children, you can make the decision to say, I'm not going to repeat that mistake that I think mom or dad made. I'm going to be that change. I'm going to stop the curse, and I am going to stop the disconnect, and I am going to sexually educate my child at an early age so that they will not be another statistic. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the adults. Adults. A lot of us are older, 30s, 40s, some of us 50s, and we feel like, at this point, what's the point? But there's always a point. There's always a time where you can be the bigger person, you can be the godly person, and you can say, you know what? I'm going to hook up all my cousins, or I'm going to hook up all of my family members, or I'm going to hook up all of my siblings, and we're going to make a pact to each other, and we're going to start texting more often and calling more often and doing things together so that we can say that we were that change. We can say that we made an attempt, or we can say, you know what? If you don't want to be a part of it, that's fine. There's always going to be someone who says, you know what? You make a good point. Life is short. Let's go ahead and give this a shot. Let's say once a month, we're all going to hang out and just have, appetizers and drinks, or every holiday we're going to make sure we do something, or every 2 months, whatever the case may be, do it. Whatever the case may be, do it. If you're holding a grudge, forgive and live. We already went through that, right? Back to the children. Because children don't ask to be here, I think, my heart goes out to them, because there's so many kids out there who need to be adopted, or so many kids that are a product of their environment. And a lot of the dysfunction is because we as parents don't pay attention to the things that we're exposing our children to, because we're too focused on ourselves. That's another whole conversation. But just to give you an example, say you're on the phone gossiping, family gossip. Everybody got that too, family gossip. It's not right, but it's done. You've got your child in the other room, and they might be reading a book, they might be playing with Barbie for the younger kids, and you're in the other room, saying negative things or gossiping and chit chat. And believe me when I say that child or those children are listening to you, although you don't think they are. And you're letting them believe that it's okay to gossip. It's okay to talk about people. It's okay to not talk to your sister. It's okay to not talk to your brother. And subconsciously, they're going to grow up and believe that this is okay. So if you go your whole life not talking to your cousin or your sister or your mother or your father, you're showing your child that this is okay. You're continuing, and you don't even realize it, you're continuing the generational curse. You're continuing the dysfunction, which is absolutely positively unhealthy. So with that being said, I hope that you will be that change. I hope that you will stop some of the disconnect. I know realistically you cannot stop all of it, but realistically, you can stop some of it. So why not? What are you waiting for? Do it. You don't have to do it tonight, but I'm asking you to do it tomorrow. I'm challenging you to do it tomorrow. You got Facebook, you got Instagram, you got social media. If you haven't connected with your family member, connect with them. Send them a message if you don't have their phone number. Do whatever it is that you have to do so that you can be that change. Be the change you want to see in the world. Gandhi said that. I know you know that, right? Be the change you want to see in the world. So, I've got some books for you, some resources you can use to get you started. You don't have to, but it's always good, to have that extra motivation and that extra push. Some of us need it. So everybody knows Joyce Meyer. She's amazing. She has an old audio CD. It's only $14. It's on Amazon, and it's called Breaking Generational Curses. Then we have, it's a little bit more money. It's $49. We have Breaking Family Curses, and this is 12 hours of teaching, and it's also 4 ebooks for you, and that's available at www.jonasclarkstore.com. That's JONASCLARKSTORE.com, and that has 15 topics. It's got advice on emotional recovery and healing and overcoming wounds and things like that. So I've given you what you need. All you have to do now is be that person, because I'm going to be that person. I am going to reach out to my family this weekend. So if my family's watching this, please get ready, honey, because here I come. I know I'm not in the same stage, but that doesn't mean I can't plan something for the future. I'm making a pact to myself to do that. So, with that being said, I hope you're making a pact to do that with your children, with your family, even with your friends. Do it. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, sharing your evening with me. I truly, truly appreciate you. Subscribe, share my video, because all it takes is one day to change your mind. All it takes is one day to make a better choice. All it takes is one day to change your life, and you can do it. Be that change. Namaste. I hope you had a fierce day. Ciao.